All right. Good morning, everyone. Mike Harmer. We're here for the Dewey Beach Planning and Zoning meeting. Saturday, December 15th. It looks 17th at 10 o'clock. So we're going to convene the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting, and we'll do a Pledge of Allegiance and then a roll call.
Flag of the United States of America. One nation, under God, indivisible.
We have a quorum. We have 5 members, and we'll go ahead around the room and take attendance. So Mark
Nordquist.
Jack Redifer.
Dave Lyons.
Mike Harmer.
Dale Cook.
Fred Townsend, Solicitor.
Jimmy O'Connor. Bill Zolper, Town Manager.
All right. We would like to adopt the agenda, a motion to adopt the agenda that each of us have, and it was posted.
Motion.
All right.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. I see no nays. And then the minutes that Dave emailed to the P&Z members from the last meeting, looking for a motion to approve, a second, and then discussion if there's any changes. So looking for a motion to approve. And Jimmy and Jack. And now we're in discussion. I have no changes, no comments. Anybody have any changes, comments to what Dave sent? No. Perfection. Thank you, Dave. So at this point, we'll vote on the meeting minutes so I can send them up to Kate or to the town email, the new town email. All in favor to approve the past meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I see no nays, so they're approved. And we'll open, usually we discuss, but we'll go to the open public hearing because we'll just stick to the agenda. We can discuss it afterward. So it's basically a public hearing. Excuse me, I can get my eyes on here. So I can adjust this. We also have Dawn Hinks from the code official from the town online. Dawn, good morning and thank you for attending.
Good morning, all.
All right. Got to love the technology. It is a great thing. So what we're doing is on the public hearing, we are public hearing on a draft ordinance and application. The draft ordinance and the application were both posted to rezone tax map partial 334-20.18-74.0 located at 100 Buena Road, Dewey Beach, from a resort business to RB2 to resort residential RR to rezone said parcel and to amend the comprehensive plan accordingly. That's what we're here for. I think we all have a copy of the draft ordinance that was posted. Thank you, Town Hall, for drafting that up, and Fred, and all the hard work you do. And I guess we're going to see if, I don't see anybody. Do we have anybody waiting? So the applicant's not here today, which is kind of odd, but I think we have a package here that is, last I counted, about 14 pages long from Tunnel and Razor. And I'll just read this, just if you're okay with that, and it's posted so you can capture it in your minutes. So this is to Dawn Hinks, Town of Dewey Beach, August 4th, 2022 letter that was posted. I'll just for background. Our law firm represents Kay Ann Richardson and Trust and Howard C. Richardson, who are owners of 100 Buena Street, Dewey Beach, Delaware. There is an existing small structure located on that site. During the Richardson period of ownership and its predecessors in title, the building has always been used as a residence. The building has now reached a point where it needs to be replaced. In that regard, the Richardson family is requesting permission to build a residence on the property, even though it is zoned commercial. They have engaged Turnstone Builders to design a house that will meet their needs. They have submitted the plans to the town of Dewey Beach and hereby requesting a variance to construct, which they don't need a variance. That was an earlier letter. Basically, we just need to rezone it is what is in front of us. So I won't read the rest of that letter. It's posted if anybody's curious. The rest of it's no big deal. So basically, that's what they're doing. The application has a lot of pictures, which I trust that some have had a chance to review. It is nearby is the Opal there on Buena Road, the corner there of Buena and McKinley. The pictures are self-explanatory, and there's a bunch of pictures with notes on them. One of them is, shows the little house. Shows the little house, next, right, butting up against the, Opal. It says 100 Buena Street is a single-family dwelling located behind the former site of Grotto's Pizza and the Opal Hotel in Dewey Beach, Delaware. And there's a bunch of explanations about what the property is about and what they're trying to do, as I read, and with the other information that's been posted. So nobody in the public here, there's nobody here in the room from the public to talk about pros and cons, and nobody online, as far as I know, Kate, nobody's online. So at this point, we will close, well, let's hear from Fred and Dawn in Town Hall.
Right.
And then we'll discuss it and we'll close the public hearing.
So I'd just like to ask some questions of Dawn just while the public hearing is open.
Absolutely. Thank you,
And then I
Fred.
think because we're a recommending body, I think we can move this along. I think that somebody for the applicant needs to appear in some way, shape, or form before the final ordinance gets adopted.
So that Town Hall would tell, or basically request that, and Bill's shaking his head and Dawn's online.
We go back to the commissioners and they would approve that.
Yeah, this has to go to the commissioners. So, I mean, I think Hal Duke signed that letter, if I remember
Yep.
correctly. So Hal or somebody,
Yeah, yep.
if it's not the applicant
Fred,
herself.
so
Yes.
we could suggest or approve that this goes to the commission, and then from there, then they would be requested to appear.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
I mean, we have options. This is a pretty routine application because it's very similar to other applications that we've seen
Correct.
that were the result of I think the initial comprehensive plan map having the effect of rezoning a bunch of residential properties into mixed use. So I think we could probably be comfortable recommending approval is my guess, unless some questions arise from you all. But if it were a conditional use application or something, I think we would just have to adjourn the meeting and come back.
Yeah, it's because it's lots of questions and a lot of back and forth. I mean, this one, with the application, and we're pretty familiar with that corner, at least some of us should be. And, it's pretty simple, and we've, like you said, routine, but not a guarantee that this would happen. The negative effects that I could see would be that in the future, if we wanted to expand the commercial, off of, suppose the Opal turn into something like a mixed use or something, or whatever, we're losing that ability to have that little piece as commercial. But I don't have a problem with that personally, myself. I think it's, something I'm going to support, but we can discuss that later.
So, Dawn, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Fred.
Thanks. Can you describe the character of that area around the property that's applying for rezoning?
Certainly. If you stand on Buena Road facing this property, which means you would be facing east, the north side or the left side of the property is part of the Opal complex, and it is an RB2. If you face this property and continue on the back side, that is the Opal RB2, and the south side or the right side of this property is zoned RR, resort residential. Across the street, Buena Road, from this property, it is resort residential. So they do have surrounding resort residential parcels zoning wise. I do have some history information about this property from the county site if you'd like to have it.
Sure. Please.
From what I can see, of course, I was not around then, but I'm going by what the county states, that back in 1982, this area, this particular lot was considered commercial, and they remodeled a motel. And that's part of the county's information stating that it was commercial. And they had a remodeling motel, McKinley Avenue, this particular parcel, as of the August 1982. Then in September of 1982, they received, being the county received an application for a 2-story duplex. The existing use that the county had for this parcel was all commercial. So that's what little bit of history I was able to find for this particular lot. And of course, earlier this year, the town did receive an application, or let's put it this way, discussion. They never did receive an official application for a residence, but it was discussion with the builder, Turnstone Homes, and the town did not receive any plans by Turnstone. Jim Dedes and myself had multiple discussions with Turnstone builders about this lot, stating they could not put a residential home, tear what's there now down, put a residential home on there because of the zoning being commercial. It would need to be rezoned. So that's apparently what their desire is, and that's where we stand at this moment.
So, Dawn, do you know how long that house has been there?
The actual house itself, according to the county, it just shows that there were building permits, the county in 1982, the duplex, and then 1988, it just says additions. And these are from the county records. I don't have any records.
So the house, has that house or structure served as a residence since this town was formed? Do you know?
According to the county records, they did the building permits on behalf of Dewey, that they looked at it as a motel, a duplex, and then just additions. So if it has been changed to single family units, it would have probably been by the applicant themselves. I don't know. I don't have it as listed as single family homes, anything of that nature.
So our regulations when it comes to zoning are meant to consider the character of each zoning district and its suitability for particular uses with a view towards conserving the value of buildings and encouraging the most appropriate use of land throughout the town. Do you have an opinion as to whether a residential use for this property is appropriate considering the character of the zoning area or the zoning district and the area?
As a building official for the town, because there is resort residential surrounding this property and also which backs up to the RB2 zoning district, which runs alongside of Coastal Highway, I do not believe that that would be a problem with the town. The applicant, and also talking with their attorney, Hal Dukes, their desire is to demolish the existing structures on the property, and they want to build single family home.
So under under resort business or RB2, they'd have to build a mixed use structure, right? With commercial on the first floor and residential on the upper floors?
That's correct. This particular lot, if it's RB2, cannot have simply single family residence.
Mhm.
Dale? Yeah, this is Jack Rutherford. Question for you. Have we seen any of the plans from that builder yet? I know that there was conversation, but have you seen anything yet?
At the commissioners meeting, a set of plans, or I guess a design, was given to them. There have been no designs, no plans, no submission, no application for a single-family home that's been given to me as part of the building department. Are,
Go ahead.
so I have not looked at what was given to the commissioners. Because I do not know is if that's what they want to build. I can only assume that that's what they want to build, but I have not reviewed it, looked at it, evaluated it, nothing.
Okay, because the reason I asked that is it's a unique size lot, so just making sure that whatever they'd like to build fits within that envelope.
From what, and I agree, it is different. Just what small calculations that I'm able to do, because I don't have an actual field survey for the actual lot size. It appears per the county records that the lot size is approximately 4,900 square feet. Now, a buildable lot in Dewey, if one has to be created, the code states the minimum size is a 5,000 square foot buildable lot that's required. However, when talking about this and looking back at this particular property, if it's 4,900 and our code says a buildable lot's 5,000, can this be accommodated? And so the code that I came up with was section 185-47. Item A is an apple. And it's talking about lot area. And within that code, it indicates that if a title to a lot was a record prior to the application of any zoning regulations and restrictions, and then if you're able to read it further, those restrictions shall not prevent the owner of such lot from erecting a single-family detached dwelling or making other improvements on the lot. So that is code section 185-47, item A. And so when I read that, I said 4,900, we got a $5,000 restriction. 5,000 square foot restriction. Can this be done? And so in looking back at the county records and researching the lot records, I go back to not doing an extremely thorough, detailed examination. It appears that the deeds do go back to at least 1971 for this particular lot. So it appears that that lot existed before the town was ever incorporated with zoning laws.
So there are a number of examples of non-conforming lots around town, and they're buildable lots. You're just stuck with the challenges of building on those non-conforming lots or seeking a variance. But this applicant is not creating a new lot. If they were creating a new lot, they would have to be compliant with our restrictions for lot area. So all the enforcement authorities that are available to the town when it comes to pulling a building permit remain in place. We're not approving any kind of a plan for the construction of a home. All those rights are reserved. The applicant's going to have to respect the setbacks as they apply to this lot. I'm sure that structure is currently violating setbacks. It looks like it's on the side yard, although those tax maps are not really reliable for that purpose, but they're going to have to relocate the foundation of a new home so that it's in the building envelope. Yep.
Yeah. So what you're saying, Fred, is for us, it's a rezone, and then it's going to be on the town hall to worry about all these setbacks and appearance that the building is actually over the property line or whatever is going on there.
Mhm.
It's not on us to deal with.
That's right.
All right. Well, good luck with that, Dawn. Yeah, great interpretation. But Dale?
Yeah, you covered most of my questions, actually. What you covered what surrounds it. Behind it is resort residential, in front of it is the Opal, which is what, RB2? Don?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and they're gonna demolish both buildings, is that the way I understand it?
Yes, they would have to in order to be able to put a single-family home on it.
Right, that's what I'm wondering. Side next to the fence, next to the Opal, they still have to, according to their attorney, just said, they have to meet all our setback standards, they build new.
That is correct. All brand-new construction anywhere in town must meet the current zoning requirements.
Question from you, Don. In your judgment, what do they get for changing the zoning? What benefits them and/or the town for changing the zoning to RR?
Well, in talking with Turnstone, I physically have not talked with the applicant or the property owner myself. However, my understanding is that they want a single-family residence there. It's a possibility that part of that home they may want to turn into a rental section. Do not know, or the home itself as a rental unit.
To put commercial underneath.
Yeah, so so anyone
They
can
don't have
rent
to.
their home. I don't think
Yes.
whether they're renting their home or not. And actually, this is the Kay Richardson that serves on our,
Let me
Elections
Let me finish asking one question.
okay,
I once stood up for somebody in a planning and zoning meeting when I wasn't on planning and zoning, and said, that's what we need to do, keep families here, change the families. And as soon as they got to changing in zoning, they changed it to townhouses. Came in and got to, is that possible in this?
If it is changed to an RR district, townhouses are not allowed in the RR
Okay, that
district.
solves my question.
Only single-family homes.
They just don't have to put commercial underneath, that's what they're.
That I know.
Yeah.
That's the only real.
But it's higher density, right?
yeah, you're more likely to get rentals above a commercial than
Right.
you would if they build a single-family
Right.
home.
I think the other gain that they get out of this as well is on the resale side of things. You know, you go to the market and we're looking at zoning. In my world, something's a heck of a lot easier to sell with residential than
Which is good.
than commercial. So that is a gain for them as well. So,
I think this property has been in the hands of this particular owner for decades.
generational ownership.
Mhm.
All right,
all
we're
I have.
still in the public hearing. We sort of never really closed it. That's fine. Any other comments in the public hearing, and we'll close it out. Dawn, any other comments you have to add, or are you okay at this point as far as comments?
I think I've given you some background information, and I don't have any other comments to make. So it's in your hands.
All right, thank you. Anyone else here before we close the public hearing? All right, well, public hearing's closed, and the agenda goes on to discuss and possibly vote to make a recommendation regarding a draft ordinance and an application to rezone tax map parcel that was 334-20.18-74.00 located at 100 Buena Road, Dewey Beach, from Resort Business 2, that's RB2, to Resort Residential RR, to rezone the said parcel and to amend the comprehensive plan accordingly. So we'll be looking for a discussion. I have nothing to discuss at this point.
If our role is to say, does it make sense whether or not this should be rezoned? Or if it meets the qualifications for R, I would say, yes, it does. We're not having any opinion about what they're gonna build on it, what they're gonna do.
That's right.
That they'll have to come back to code enforcement in the town to have that approved. And so it makes sense to me to go ahead and just rezone this and
Right.
make that recommendation as precedent. Nothing I see at fault here.
Any other discussion before we look for a motion?
Yeah, one way to look at it is if this was RR and they wanted to go to RB2, might the neighbors come out and say, we don't really want commercial, right?
I wouldn't.
Right.
I wouldn't.
I would too.
It's going to complete that corner because everything on that street, on those three streets, what Wayne, Dover, and Vista are all residential.
Great. Thank you, Mark. All right, short of any other discussion, looking for a motion to make the recommendation as stated.
I'll make a motion as stated.
All right, look for a second.
I'll second the motion.
All right, got Mark on the second. Any discussion? I see none. All right, well, since I see none, I guess we're up for a vote. Let's go individual. Mark, you want to start?
Aye.
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 Mike Farmer, aye?
Dale Cook, aye.
Jimmy O'Connor, aye.
And that's a unanimous vote from the Planning and Zoning Commission for the recommendation of this draft ordinance to go to the town commissioners. And any other comments by the commissioners at this point? Before we go for a motion to adjourn, last night, it's my understanding that the tent issue was taken care of at the commissioner level, and we are not going to be getting anything referred to us. Is that true?
No, it was referred to you.
Oh, it was referred to us. Oh, I got the wrong information. So,
As well as the ordinance and the
Yeah.
definition, the two different.
oh, okay, so that's going to be we'll have to study up on that. So looking with the 5 we have here, and we'll get with Jim Balicki later. Anybody looking at Saturday or Friday? I know for Friday night, it'd be better to not ruin your Saturday, right?
It doesn't matter in
Any-
February.
Well, we're talking
January.
January. Yeah. So is a January, a Friday, January 6th at 4:30?
That's not enough time to post.
We gotta
yeah.
do 50
Yeah, we've got to
Yeah,
publish
1,
and
2, 3. Yeah, I'm looking at the calendar wrong. My bad. Okay, that would be 3 weeks, but we'd be rushing it. What about the weekend of January 13th, 14th? 13th is a Friday night at 4:30? Friday 13th.
that's still tight though, isn't it?
So the 13th, there's going to be a commissioners meeting at 3 o'clock. It's being changed from the 20th to the 13th.
Oh, okay.
They discussed that last night.
Okay,
Just to let you know.
okay. Would you guys want to go on the Saturday or what, the
20th?
20th? Work for folks?
I think it gives us enough time to get.
Then we don't have to rush
There's
it.
gonna be a lot of information we need to digest.
Yeah, so let's go with, does Friday or Saturday make a difference to anybody? I got a little, I just want to make sure Saturday might be better for me because there's some things going on that I might need to take the Saturdays to do the Saturday meeting. So if you guys are okay, let's do a 10 or 11. What's best for you guys? 10 or 11 Saturday morning. 10 o'clock Saturday morning, the 21st. So, is that good for you? Yeah. Okay. All right, so we'll go
I have no life.
Saturday. Well, that's fine. 21st. That's fine. And you have plenty to do here in town, I'm sure. So we'll look at that as our tentative date. I'll work with Town Hall and Kate with an agenda and all, and we'll figure this out. And if that doesn't work for some reason, we'll switch it up. But that's the tentative date for the tent hearings will be Saturday, January 21st
At what time?
at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Good, thank you.
All right, and now we're looking for a motion to adjourn. Unless anybody has any comment. Motion by Jack, second by Mark. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. We're out of here.